It is my absolute privilege to bring to the Nightmare Weekend stage the one and only Matt Ryan, everybody!
Hi, how are you?
I'm so good. Good to see you.
Again. Hi guys, how you doing? Wow, it's bright. I feel like I'm on the stage here. Well, I am on the stage technically.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good.
When did we last do this?
In Miami.
In Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're in Chicago.
Yeah, and now we're in Chicago.
My kind of town, right? Is that what they say?
That's what Frank Sinatra said, wasn't
Yeah, Windy City. I'm trying to learn. This is only my second time here in Chicago.
Right. I think I've been here a couple. I know I've definitely been here 2 times. I might have been here 3 times. Yeah.
So when you guys come up to meet him at the table, we need some recommendations, right? Restaurants, fun things to do around town.
Anywhere to go, like, or where you guys think is to go to, like, a little dive bars or anywhere good for hot wings. As soon as I fly into America, I go straight for, like, buffalo wings.
Now, how hot we talking here?
Not too hot.
No.
Just the standard buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch that, what's it called? The hot wing show that's like on YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hot ones.
The hot ones, yeah. I've watched that as well. It's so funny, isn't it? Watching people trying to like choke when they're like choking of,
Right.
you know, with the heat of the sauces.
Yeah. Do you think you could make it? Like, could you run the gamut?
I don't know if I could, but I'd like to try. The thing is like, so I never really liked spicy food. And then when I lived in LA, there's a place called Birds in a little village called Franklin Village. And I tried these hot wings, and I was just like, man, I like them, but I don't like them. And ever since then, I love hot wings. And in the UK, if you go to a restaurant and you ask for like buffalo wings, they give you like a completely different sauce. So what I do is I get the Frank's hot wings, and then I put a little bit of butter in it, a little bit of cilantro, and I make my own, basically, out of the Frank's hot sauce. Yeah.
And I love if we take anything away from this weekend, now we know how you like your wings. So, like,
Yep.
we're learning things here. Okay, so we do have a friend that is already hanging out. I say, let's let him get to his question, and then you and I can powwow. We will chit-chat.
Yeah, sure.
Is the mic on? Try it. It's not on?
It's not on?
Here.
You're going to say 1, 2, 1, 2, testing.
Can we turn on the
testing.
mic
1,
in the
2.
audience? And if not, try it again. They said it should be on. All right, Elgin, help him out. We might have flipped it off.
Tech support, please. Tech
Yeah,
support.
and if not, I'll run down there with my microphone and we'll make it happen. We
Yeah.
got it.
Can you hear me?
I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Oh my God, I see myself up there.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it weird seeing yourself?
You're a
do you know what's
star.
more
It is.
weird than seeing yourself is hearing yourself.
True.
Yeah,
True.
I used to hate it too. And then, you know, playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I kind of got used to my voice a little bit more. But yeah, it's always a strange thing.
So I have a few questions, and
Okay.
I can answer your question on
Okay.
where you should go.
Okay.
Go ahead. First of all, what's your name?
I'm Vincent.
Hi,
Vincent. Hi, Vince.
Hi. So my first question is, well, compliment. Me and my dad love to play your game. Like, it's really fun for us to play it. It makes us bond together, so that's why I like it. And don't tear up now, but
How old are you?
I'm 10.
You're 10.
Yeah, I'm kind of tall for my age, but yet
I'm short.
can't
for
get it
mine.
up here unless I stand on my tippy toes.
Oh.
But anyways, question. Can you, if you could sign this?
So he can sign it if you go visit him at his
Oh,
table after.
oh, yeah,
we
yeah,
can't do
yeah.
that now. This is just
I
the Q&A part of things.
Sorry, I forgot. I
No
forgot.
worries, no worries. What's your
and
question?
My question is, which out of all the Assassin's Creed games is your favorite? Like Assassin's Creed India, Assassin's Creed Russia, Assassin's Creed China. Like which one of those is your favorite?
There's this one game. It's set in one of the most beautiful settings that you could set any game in the Caribbean. It's called Assassin's Creed. Oh, you mean aside from Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, because I was going to say, obviously my favorite is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Okay,
Great
so
choice.
in terms of the ones I've played,
yeah.
so when I got the game, I had to play I had to go and play the other games for research. So I played the first 2. I liked Valhalla because I like Vikings.
Yeah, I need to test that one out. I
I really enjoyed that, but I've got to say that I hear that Shadows, and from what I've seen on the internet, it looks awesome. Like all the gameplay and the graphics engines that they're using these days, like just looks stunning, and the story and all the history. So I'm looking forward to actually playing Shadows. I'm actually going to ask the guys at Ubisoft if they'll send me a copy so that I can play it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I might need to ask them too, but like instead of asking them, I'll buy it, of course. And my thing is on where you should go. There's this place, and I'm pretty sure LaGrange, called Jimmy's Place. It's a very good Italian place. It has a good bar there.
Yeah.
I don't use it, of course, but
You're 10.
Not yet.
yeah, no duh. 11 more years, but
Who's
so
counting?
yeah, you should go there. It's like Italian stuff. The owner there is very nice. The owner there is my grandma's friend, so I
What's
feel
his
like
name?
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah,
So if I
it's-
go in and say, hey, Big Jim, my friend Vinny told me to come.
I think
So
you're
that's
in.
like a New York accent. It's not Chicago, is it?
Yeah, you should
okay.
maybe say
Abe Froman. Right?
yeah. And also another good place to go. It's
Yeah.
kind of just like original. Go to Portillo's and say, "Can I get a hot dog? Drag it through the garden."
What does that mean?
Well, what does
It
that mean?
basically means like a lot, and I mean a lot of toppings on it. But it's like mustard, ketchup, relish, and stuff. It's all that.
What do you like on your...
Oh, no ketchup, no ketchup.
No, I gotta have ketchup on my hot dog.
Because all I gotta say is, in Chicago, I don't know why, but it's illegal to put ketchup on a hot dog for
Is
some
it?
reason.
Really? What's that? It's illegal? You get
Get
shamed?
shamed?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So,
yes.
so wait, so what? You're just like a full-on mustard and relish?
Yeah, true.
Everything but ketchup?
So what I need to do is like find the best hot dog joint and just go in and say like, I want a hot dog Chicago style.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Because for me, this is probably blasphemy, but like I'm just a straight up like hot dog with mustard and ketchup, and then maybe some onions.
Yeah, I know.
But,
I know
like,
what you mean. I mean, it's not like
I love how everyone was just like, ooh,
like it's not like a illegal, but like
So
it's
he's
not
not
like
going to
the
get
Chicago
arrested.
way.
You lo-
It's not
you-
the Chicago way.
It's not the Chicago
And we
way.
need to acclimate to the Chicago way.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you for your
that.
questions.
Yeah, that's great.
You're definitely one of my favorite actors, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you, man. Thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice. Thank you for your question, and I'm definitely going to go and seek out Big Jim.
Jim. Drag it
Jimmy,
through the
Yeah.
garden.
just call him Jimmy.
Just call him Jimmy.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, thank you, Elgin.
Thank you.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Connor. It's great
yeah,
to see you again, man.
nice to see you again, Connor.
Yeah, so my question to you is, if you got a call from the BBC about potentially playing the next Doctor on Doctor Who after Ncuti Gatwa, is that something that might interest you, or is that not really a role you want to take on?
You know, I don't know. You know, I grew up with Doctor Who, as so many people in the UK and over here did as well. And it's something that I like to enjoy, you know, rather than playing. I think I don't know. I don't know if I ever got that call. We'd have to see. But you know, I playing Dr. Gwyn on Legends of Tomorrow. In the last seasons of Legends, we weren't able to use the character of Constantine anymore. So using coming back as the character of Doctor, I felt he was kind of Doctor Who-y, the master of time travel. There was something kind of Doctor Who about him, and that wasn't intentional at all. But if I was to do it, I want him to be kind of more in that vein than kind of cool, you know? Like I loved, what I loved about Dr. Gwyn was I loved his new roses.
I understand. You would be an amazing Doctor, honestly. Like, you're at the top of my fan cast list for the next Doctor after Ncuti.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I wondered who's the companion?
You.
Oh,
Ah,
I'm
well, there we
available.
go.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So where are we going?
I
All we
didn't-
need is a TARDIS.
Right.
Just be wary of any Daleks, any Cybermen, the Master. Just be wary of them.
All right, we'll keep our eyes peeled. Thank you.
You know what? I say never.
Awesome, thanks.
Thanks.
Wow.
Thanks, Connor.
Hey, what's
Hey,
your
man.
name?
How's it
What's
going?
up? So, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
All right. What is your opinion on video games today? Do you prefer old video games or new video games?
Okay, so here's the thing: is a lot of the stuff is online, and you have to like play with people online. I don't like doing that because my ass gets whooped by people
Yeah.
like half my age, you
Yeah.
know. So I play FIFA, I play Destiny. I play Call of Duty, but I like to do I like the campaigns.
Yeah.
I like the stories of a video game more than the kind of the online kind of, you know, mashups that you can do. Or,
Yeah.
but I gotta say the gameplay on some of these games is just unbelievable these days compared to when I grew up.
So what you're saying, you prefer old, correct?
No, I prefer where we're at now, but a lot of it is leaning into the kind of the online kind of the DLCs, and you know you're playing online with people. I like campaigns. I like the stories of the games. So when I buy a new game, I go straight and I try to play the storyline of it, rather than jumping online and you know, trying to play with, you know, people.
So if you had to pick a game, what would be your go-to game?
My go-to game is FIFA. Well, it's not called FIFA anymore. It's called FC 25 at the moment, because I love soccer, football. You know, so I play that with my buddy who works on these things with me, and he lives in LA, I live in London. Sometimes we play online. But then what I like is the management part of it. So rather than playing online in competitions with people, I like to manage the team, sell players, buy players, and all that stuff. And the same with like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I love playing Call of Duty, but I like doing the campaign because I love the cutscenes. I love the storylines of it, you know. And I just find that I'm not that good at them. So as soon as I jump online, my ass just gets whooped by people, you know, your age, and then I'm embarrassed. But so I would say now I love the games now. But I love I like to play more campaigns than I do kind of online stuff.
One more question. Are you from the UK?
I am, yeah. I'm from a place called Wales,
All right.
which is a country of its own, but it's also in the United Kingdom.
Alright.
And it has its own language as well.
All right.
So you have Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, and they're all Celtic. And then you have England, and they're all part of the United Kingdom. Yeah. And Ireland and Scotland, they both speak a language called Gaelic, but they're both different. The Irish Gaelic is different to the Scottish Gaelic. But then Wales is Welsh. The language is Welsh, and it's very different to both of them. And it's one of the oldest languages in Europe.
All right. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your questions.
Hey.
I hope I don't meet you online. You're going to whoop my ass. For sure.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Samantha.
Hi, Sam.
First off, great hot dog place just down the street on Irving Park is Babo's.
Babos?
Yes.
Okay, I hope the Mark's taking notes.
Yeah. And then my question is, what was your favorite part about making Black Flag?
I think that like getting to working in a new medium. So you know, I've done radio, I've done television, I've done movies, and I'd never done motion capture. So for the first time that I ever did motion capture, it was a completely new medium. One, you have this helmet on your head with this camera in your face, and you know you're standing there with this tight Lycra suit with all these dots on you, and it was a completely different new medium, and I kind of really enjoyed doing it. So doing that as an actor was refreshing because, you know, I think that in my career, you do a play and you do like 2 years of plays, or once I did a play of 200 performances back to back, 8 days a week, right? 8 performances a week. And, you know, after that, you're like, I want to go and do some TV, or you want to be on camera. And then the medium of motion capture was completely new to me. So doing that was like a really refreshing aspect for me. And then also, I think if I could have told my 10-year-old self, like that I was going to be in a game like Black Flag, I would have freaked out, because it's such a good game. You know, to this day, it still stands the test of time, I think, for its story, for its gameplay, and for its setting as well. You know, they really did a good job on it. And so yeah, but I would say for me, the most refreshing thing was the medium itself. I hope to get to play in it again.
Thank you.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Danielle.
Hi.
This is my first year in college as I want to write and direct television shows, actually.
Cool.
So I wanted to know, as an actor, what is helpful for you and gets you excited in a script? Like when you read a script, what makes you go, okay, this makes me excited for this project. This is going to really help me out and make this a great project.
I think I don't think it's specific to any one thing. I think that when you read something, if it hits you, you know, you read it and you absorb it, and if it hits you emotionally or intellectually or in any way, really, there's got to be something in there that makes you kind of get excited, and it's very hard to put your finger on what that is, you know. It's down to the writer at the end of the day. You know, the writer is the first protocol of the whole craft, really. And sometimes you can read something, you go, oh my God, I don't know why, but I got to play this character, you know. And then sometimes you're like, I think that this character is really great, but something doesn't work, and it's down to the writer. So it's a good question. It's a really good question. I think that you just have to like read something, use your instinct, and if it makes you feel something, it does. And if it doesn't, then it's always worth another read because you might be missing something. But normally, you know, when you read something, you're like, oh, this is gonna get me going. And it's like anything when it comes to the creative arts. Like if something gets you fired up, then it gets you fired up. You've got to follow that urge, that instinct. So it's a really hard thing to pin down. I think that, like, in terms of working with people in film and television, you know, the great people that I've worked with, they're always able to be amenable and movable. And, you know, actors, you know, you might have 10 actors in a scene, and each one is different. And the best directors are the ones that can adapt to each person and pull something out of each person. Yeah, it's a really good question, and I think I'll take that question away and keep on asking myself. But every time I read something, I kind of like sit back and I read it and I let the thing do what it does. And if it does something, then great. And if it doesn't, I'm like, let me go back in and see if I can find something, right? But normally if it's good, it gets you. It's like reading a good book, or it's like watching a good movie, or it's like listening to a good song. You know, anything, or looking at a good painting, it just like grabs you and you're like, that's got me. Why? And the why of it is it's the drive, but also, you know, it's not you don't need to know what that is. It's just becomes part of the whole of the project, I think. It's a good question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi again.
Hi, hello. Good to see you again.
You too.
So we talked at your booth, talked a little bit how much you love Dead in America as the Constantine run. If you were to reprise Constantine, what run would you want to do? Would it be Dead in America? Or is there a different run you'd like?
That's a good question too. No, I've read I think episodes 1 to 4 or 5 of Dead in America, and I really loved it. It's hard to kind of read it a little bit because you know, you get a little frustrated because it's so good that it pulls you back into the role, and you're like, I gotta play this, and you know, right now that's not happening, so you kind of have to distance yourself a little bit from it. But I don't know. There's so many great storylines that have happened throughout the 300 episodes, 300 issues of Hellblazer, all of the New 52, all of the Rebirth, all of the you know, the Dead in America stuff goes back for me to the original kind of grittiness of John Constantine, and I really love what those guys have done. But I'm a fan of the character, you know, and I don't know. It's a good question.
One more question. In terms of your work, are you more partial to doing stage or doing TV? Because you did Tempest, and do you want to do more Shakespeare, or do more like TV and movie work, or more stage work?
I like to do like a little bit of it all, really. You know, I haven't done a play now for. The last play I did was in 2016. Someone came up actually with one of the brochures from the last play I did in London, and that was 2016. and it's 2025. So it's almost 10 years since I've done a play. So there's something itching there that I want to do, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I love each medium for what it is, you know, and I just feel lucky to be an actor. And if you get a job, then you're lucky enough to get a job, do you know?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Savannah.
Hey, Savannah.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Do you have a favorite horror movie or just like a horror movie that inspired you as an actor?
The funny thing is after when we were doing Constantine, the actual show on NBC, I was reading all of they're called the grimoires, which are the magic books. There's 3 of them, actual magic books. I was reading those and going through translations of them and watching all this different stuff about exorcisms and all this stuff and reading the comics. And a lot of the earlier comics are pretty dark and twisted. And after we started shooting, you know, you're thinking about all this stuff in the day, and then you go home and I'm picking up the comic book at night, and then I was like, I'm having nightmares, man. Like, I'm starting to like dream about all this stuff. So I had to put it down. But I gotta say that, so right now where I am in my life, like I don't really like to watch a horror movie by myself. I mean, if it's something like that gets you, like the Conjuring stuff, like, yeah, all of those movies are pretty gnarly, you know. I don't like to watch them by myself anymore. I'm like, I get freaked out. Maybe I dived a bit too deep when I was doing the job, but I would say like The Conjuring and when I was younger, like all those old. I was never into slasher horror just because it was horror. I was more into like the freaky horror, like the spiritual kind of horror, like ghosts and, you know, like The Exorcist. The first Exorcist movie was just drove me nuts. And what's funny is in the TV show Constantine, the demon Pazuzu, which is the demon in the movie Exorcist, is the demon that they used where in episode 8 and 9, I actually summoned that demon and put that demon into myself to survive because I get shot. And there was one moment when I was like, I'm about to like summon this demon and I'm speaking like real like spells. And like, am I asking this demon to come into me? This is a bit mad. And I think I called one of the producers and was like, does the guy who writes the spells, he was an exorcist, is he there? You know, is this real? Am I going to summon a real demon? And he was like, oh, sorry, he's not here. He's in Brazil doing an exorcism. It's like, all right, well, I best I just like do it the best I can. But so I love the genre. Like, I love the genre. I love playing the genre. And like, and I'm interested in a spirituality and like all the different religions that believe in other worlds and all of these things. But I do find now, I'm 44 years old, like, it's sad to say, but if I sit down and there's a horror movie, I'm like, not by myself. And it kind of needs someone there by me, you know, to share it with. Otherwise, it just like, you know, I can, you know, freak myself out a bit. I don't know if that answers your question, but.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hey.
So maybe it goes without saying. Oh, I'm David, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Hey, David.
Do you believe in like the supernatural and ghosts, spirits, demons? Do you believe in all that?
Do you believe in a thing called love?
That's real.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do. You know, I would when I was doing these things before, or if anyone asked, I would say, well, but yeah, I do. I mean, like, if you just look at logically, right? Like, we live with the Wi-Fi around, right? There's like things go in between this phone and this microphone, and we can't see them. Just because we can't see them doesn't mean it's not there, right? And, you know, if you read books of tales past and old poetry and Edgar Allan Poe, you're like, wow, man, like, where does this stuff come from? Like, yeah, I do believe in that stuff, to be honest.
Well, that leads me to my next question. Have you ever experienced it yourself, like anything supernatural?
Maybe. I tell you one interesting story is like when we were shooting Constantine, we were in Atlanta. We were shooting in Atlanta, and we were shooting in an old mausoleum, and it was the middle of the night. We were doing a night shoot, and the mausoleum is, we're in, and I'm supposed to be digging this sarcophagus out of the mausoleum, and one of the ADs came up to me and said, "You'll never believe this, but there's a grave in the graveyard that says Constantine." I was like, "What? You're shitting me?" So in my break, I said, "Wait there, we're shooting this scene." So when they were turning the cameras around, I said, "You gotta take me." So we're walking out into the graveyard, in the middle of the night. I'm wearing the trench coat, smoking a cigarette, literally. Walking, going like, "Oh, looking for John Constantine's grave." And there's a gravestone that says Constantine, and it's almost got the same font from the comics and from the thing. And then there's all these stones that is like all these different members of the family Constantine. And I was kind of like, this is weird, man.
And this was like a real person? Like
This was real.
Person?
This was real. I've got the
Whoa.
picture on my phone. Like, and I was a bit bad actually, because there's this iconic picture from the comic books of John Constantine sitting by a grave that says Constantine with demons coming out of it. And
Did you get a picture with yourself
So
by it?
I did. I recreated that picture.
That's sick.
And I posted it with me sticking there with a cigarette, and I was like, I'm sorry. Whatever Constantine you are, I'm sorry. Please don't hold me for the rest of my life. I'm not really blonde." But yeah, so that was freaky, man. And the gravestone, like, it looked like a set. It looked like someone had like put that there for a movie, but they hadn't. That was real.
You just happened to be at the right
Yeah.
place at the right time. Could have been anywhere.
It could have been anywhere.
Yeah.
And then there was that moment when I was like, "Okay, that's good. Let's get back to the set. There's just me and you around. Come on, let's go," And then, yeah. So some things have happened, man. Some things have gone bump in the night, Who knows what's between this and that or whatever. I used to be like, no, but I think I'm a little bit more open as I'm getting older.
Right.
Oh, I'm being a little bit more honest. And yeah, man. Yeah.
Thanks for being vulnerable, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
And you're safe here with us now,
Yeah.
so we got you.
No, when I get back to the hotel, I'll be like, "I told you not to tell them."
Thank you for your question. If you don't mind popping that right back on, you're
got you.
perfect. Thank you. So speaking of Constantine, obviously you got to live with this person for so long. What are some of your favorite qualities of Constantine?
It's vulnerability. Well, that guy just said that about vulnerability. Like John is, well, here's the thing, his boldness, his brashness, and his vulnerability. He's a character that, like, when something needs to be done, he'll do whatever it takes to be done. But he might run away first. Do you know what I mean? He might run in the corner and cower and say, "I don't want to do it," but you'll end up doing it. And that's kind of like a real human quality, especially in a superhero world. He's not like Superman when he's like, "Okay, I'll do whatever needs to be right." John is like, I don't want to do it. I want to run away. No. And then he'll end up going, "Oh, all right." But he will do it. And I love that quality about him, that he is a human being. He's a working class, blue collar human being who just happens to love and know a shit ton of magic and has screwed over a bunch of, he's made so many mistakes. He's a human, I think. I love that he's made mistakes and he gets things wrong and he tries to put it right. And a lot of the time in him trying to put it right, he gets it wrong again. It's a weird quality to like, but there's a perseverance within him that I admire,
Was there anything that you learned about yourself with living with Constantine for so long?
Yeah, like, I don't know how much I learned about, I learned that the guy, like, he's a bit of a narcissist, he's cocky, he's brash, he's brazen, he's all of these things, and I'm not like that really, but there's some qualities in there. Sometimes you go like, come on, that's like channeling into John Constantine. Things are going to shit right now. All I need to do is just put the bird up and say, "Hey, I'm all right," And if John can get through it, I can get through it, you know? And I love all those early comics where, like, the artists are depicting him and he looks like he's a ruin and he's, like, trying to get away from things and he's scrambling to survive in this crazy world. And he finds a way. And he doesn't always do it with grace, you know? He does it by perseverance, I think. Yeah.
Oh, you have another
So
question?
perseverance. If I learn one thing, is perseverance. Like, don't give up.
Love it. Hey, what's your name?
Hey.
All right, in the Arrowverse, like when you get on Legends, etc., you're in this mixed comic book universe. So there's people who, you know, are not the spiritualized character because they're getting all their stuff from like some sci-fi effect. And you're doing this from like the magic side. Is there anything from an actor like portraying the, oh, this is a disbeliever and he'll learn soon, versus like how they're like facing you of, oh, this dude's just talking about the mumbo jumbo. Now, granted, the script is going to bring these into demonstrable reality, but is there anything from like that initial portrayal that you would do that wasn't in the script to show that difference?
It's an interesting question. Like, what I like is so first of all, I feel like when when they asked me to be on Legends, I felt like him being on Legends was like John turning up in another comic, which he does. You know, John pops up in places, you know, and John's that great kind of character. You can drop him anywhere in the DC universe, and he's like, all right, mate, got a light. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like him being dropped into that world where you've got, like, say, the Atom or people of very different sensibilities, but I feel like he kind of, he doesn't give a shit, for one. Do you know what I mean? Pardon my language, but he doesn't give a shit. So he knows what things are, and the people that don't believe that, he kind of looks at them and goes like, well, what I love about John is he doesn't judge them, but he knows that they don't see what he sees. Do you know what I mean? And he can just like carry on with what he's doing. But I think that like the mix of him in Legends of Tomorrow with all those different characters works because, like, you look at someone like Nate Haywood, Steele, who is like the historian, completely different. But he's also someone that understands that there's a place for John there. And John understands that there's a place for Nate there. And so they kind of all worked into this puzzle in a way of understanding of everybody's own different beliefs or skills or whatever. But I think that John's the kind of person that, like, if you don't believe magic, then you're a bit of a fool, really, aren't you? Like, I love the way he speaks to Superman in the animated movies that I did, when he's like, all right, mate. What's he call him? All right, the Boy Scout. It's like, he's probably the only character that, like, he doesn't look down to Superman, but he treats him as if, like, yeah, all right, mate, you don't really know what's going on behind this realm and that realm and that realm, because Superman's, like, there, right? And I love that about him, that, you know, he just takes it, you know, on his shoulders and walks by with it, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't impose anything on anybody, but then when he's needed, he turns up to do whatever's needed of him. I don't know if that answers your question, but thanks.
All right.
Ah, he's back.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Hello again. I have a question for you. And what is the most memorable, the most funnest memory you have with your family?
Well, I gotta say, I've never had that question before. With my family. Probably there's a small town in Wales called Tenby. So I'm from a place called Swansea. A funny thing about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, actually. So when I auditioned for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the character was supposed to be from the north of England. Mm-hmm. I'm from Wales, which is a different country from England, albeit in Great Britain. So I auditioned for the character. I got the role. And then when I went over to Montreal to start doing the motion capture, they said, oh, you sound different. I said, well, yeah, I was doing an accent. I was playing a northern guy. And they said, well, where are you from? I said, well, I'm from Wales. I'm from a place called Swansea. And they said, well, is Swansea on the sea? And I said, well, Swansea is on the sea. So they made the character of Edward Kenway from where I'm from. And nobody knew where Swansea was. I was like, yes! So that was cool. And so on the coast of Wales, where I'm from a place called Swansea. And if you go about 20, 30 miles west, there's a beautiful little village called Tenby. And if anybody ever gets to go to Wales, it's wonderful. Every house is a different color. It's beautiful. It's like being on the Mediterranean, but you're in Wales. And they have all this like arts and crafts and all of these beautiful like ales and wonderful like sausage rolls and pastries and foods and things like this. And I remember when I was younger going there with my brother and my mother and my father and playing on the beach with my brother. And there's just this one specific moment where we took a boat to a place called Caldy Island. And it was like this small boat that we took. Man, this is weird that I'm living this as I'm speaking it. And we took this boat to a place called Caldy Island where there's these old monks that from the 13th century, like there's still these old monks. They're not, you know, from the 13th century, otherwise they'd be vampires. But you know, from the 13th century, these monks would live on this little island called Caldy Island. And there's monks that still practice there now. And I remember going over there, it was like kind of my first time getting away from Swansea and my parents taking me to this other little town down the road. And yeah, so there's visiting the monks on this little island off the coast of Wales when I was probably about 7 or 8.
I also have another question.
We only have a couple minutes left, and there's a person behind you, so let's get to their question.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But stand there. I want your other question.
Yes,
I want your other question.
yes.
So
Go ahead. What's your name?
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
I actually wanted to talk about your stage work. If you have you ever had a dream role from a play that's already been and done? Would you want to bring it back, and what would that be?
No, I used to, but now no. No, I used to want to play lots of different roles, and now I'm just like, well, whatever comes, really. Yeah, I love the analogy of life is like a bar of soap. If you squeeze it too hard, it's going to slip through your hands, you know? Just like massage it.
Yeah.
Massage it, lava it up, and like get some bubbles out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to want to play Hamlet, and I used to want to play all these things, but like, let be.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually
Whatever
a line from
comes,
Hamlet.
comes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Where
Thank you.
did our friend
Thank
run
you.
off to? Where'd they go to?
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
They sprinted. Okie dokie. So we have a couple minutes left before we wrap it up, and then we're going to take a big group picture with everybody. So as your companion, and now that we're all friends, and we're going to jump in our TARDIS, and we're going to all go to Wales, since we were talking about hot dogs earlier.
Well, actually, Doctor Who was shot in Wales.
Well, I wanted to ask, since we were talking about hot dogs earlier, I wanted to wrap it up with food now that I'm starving.
Oh, me too.
Where would you take us in Wales to all go eat?
Oh, for some fish and chips. You've got to have some fish and chips down the Gower. There's a place called the Gower, and there's some lovely fish and chips down there. Yeah, fish and chips. If you go to Wales, you've got to have fish and chips. It's very simple, really. Fish and chips with gravy.
That sounds delicious.
On the chips, not on the fish.
Not, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So before we do wrap it up, any thoughts you want to leave us with here this weekend?
No, just I gotta say, like, probably the most interesting questions that I've had, like, in years in doing Comic-Cons.
Amazing.
Really
You
interesting.
go, Chicago?
Yeah, I've been like, I don't quite know how to answer that, like, but really cool. So thank you guys. I appreciate you, and thank you for having me in your city. And I'm looking forward to finding Jimmy's and some hot dog without any ketchup.
Right. Through the grass or whatever they said. So,
Yeah.
if it's okay with you, do we have a photographer
Yeah,
hanging out
let's
back
do
there
it.
so we can take a big group picture? Do we have one hiding out? Hold on, before I lie, I just want to make sure we have a photographer.
No,
Oh, we do.
there's a Santa Claus back there.
Yeah, oh.
And a Beetlejuice. Wait there, there's
So,
a Beetlejuice.
there's a
Hey,
wrestling
Beetlejuice,
event.
what are you doing? There's 2 Beetlejuices.
That one's Little Pale Girl. So we have a wrestling
Oh.
event that's going to happen after.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I spoiled it for you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's totally fine. If you guys want to come to the stage, not
Yeah.
on the stage, so we can take a big group picture with everybody.